Sonic Frontiers is, in my opinion, one of the best Sonic games we've been given since the Adventure series of games. With that being said, it isn't perfect by any means. It definitely has areas that could be improved, but Sonic Team did a lot of things right with this game that can be built upon in what I would believe will be future Sonic titles that follows this new open zone style of game. I'm hoping we can get some DLC for this game that helps build more on the story elements, as well as possibly add new areas and bosses for us to take on. The first area of the game I want to touch on is controlling Sonic. I believe the best part of the gameplay is just how well Sonic controls in the open zone areas. I specifically state the open zone areas because you don't really control Sonic all that much in the cyberspace stages. You more so just constantly boosting and jumping, but in the open zone areas, you really get to fully control Sonic and just get a feel of how much time and effort went into getting that part right. They even allow you to go into the game settings and tweak Sonic's starting speed, turning speed, and other aspects to fine tune it even further to your liking. I wish we would have gotten some cyberspace stages to played more like the open zone areas instead of them all being the same type of stages we got with games like Sonic Generations and Sonic Unleashed. That was a big disappointment to me. Almost every cyberspace stage was copy pasted right out of Sonic Generations. I don't know if it was due to time constraints or what, but when I say copy paste, I don't mean influenced heavily. I mean stages were literally the exact same stage from Generations. They aren't bad stages or anything, but it just feels wrong and it makes you feel as if they cut corners with the game instead of taking the time to give us all new stages to play. Also, each cyberspace stage has objectives to hit that gives you additional vault keys to unlock the Chaos Emeralds. It never felt difficult to get all the objectives, and usually you got them the first playthrough of the stage. Even the one for getting an S rank. S rankings are entirely based on the time to complete the stage, and they are extremely generous times to hit. Like, there were times I beat the S time by a full minute. Only one stage gave me an issue. That was stage 1 2. And it was not due to difficulty, but more so due to the Sonic team going completely against all known Sonic logic with that game or with that stage. One constant in the Sonic games is usually a stage has 2 to 3 paths, which the top path being the fastest and the bottom being the slowest. This stage went completely against that logic, and the bottom path was the fastest by far. So I would keep taking the top path and miss the S rank time by 5 to 10 seconds and couldn't figure out why. Then I finally missed the top path and noticed I made it to a part of the stage way ahead after falling to the bottom path, which was annoying because it shouldn't be that way. No other stage in the game was that way either. It was like that stage just was built wrong on mistake, or maybe since the stage was right at the beginning, maybe they made it without remembering the top path should be the fastest like it's always been. That seems to be a running theme of this otherwise really good game. Just small blunders here and there that mostly leave you confused how they were even made in the first place. For instance, in Sonic Frontiers, you have the ability to level up Sonic's attack, defense, ring capacity, and speed. You collect red and blue seeds to level up attack and defense respectively, and you collect these little things called Cocoa to level up ring capacity and speed. Now, when you go to the person who levels up your attack and defense, it will boost you by how many levels you should get based on how many of each seed you had. Instantly, you can jump from level 5 to level 10 attack and level 5 to level 10 defense if you had enough seeds to do so. But when you visit the person who levels up your capacity and speed, you have to level up one level at a time, no matter how many Cocoa creatures you bring, which takes forever to do. Again, this is one of those times you're wondering how did they get one person's mechanic so right, but then get the others so wrong when they have the exact same mechanic. It makes no sense at all. I maxed out Sonic's levels for all 4 categories, and each one maxes out at level 99. So you can imagine it took about a couple hours to level up his ring capacity and speed just because of how slow the interface is to do it. Just another confusing blunder on Sonic Team's part. Another aspect that is confusing is why you are not able to replay boss battles on your completed game save file. Seeing as these are the only times you get to use Supersonic, and these are extremely cool and fun battles to play, it sucks that you can only do them once. The only boss you can replay is the final boss of the game, but they should have at least let you unlock like a boss rush mode after completing the game so you could replay them if you wanted to. The fast travel in this game could have been explained way better as well. In order to earn fast travel for each map, you have to fish out two separate scrolls at the fishing pond to earn fast travel between the Elder and the Cocoa Guy. Or you can open up the whole map and then you can fast travel to any portal on the map as well. The problem is, after you do one or both of these things, the game tells you that you can now use fast travel, but doesn't tell you how to actually do it. It took forever for me to figure it out because I would open the map and go to one of the places I should be able to use fast travel at, but nothing would happen. No button to press to activate it would pop up. Turns out you have to scroll through the filters at the top of the map, and one of the filters says fast travel. Then those same icons that were already on the damn map turn into fast travel icons. Makes zero sense why they wouldn't always be fast travel spots like in all other games, no matter what filter you had on. Again, just a confusing blunder once again. Now, for all of the areas of the game I didn't like, none were a deal breaker. They just were nagging issues that, in all honesty, could be addressed fairly easily with a patch. So hopefully they do release one to fix those things. Even after me griping about all those things, the game really was a fun experience. It felt good to sit down and actually enjoy playing a Sonic game again, especially one that didn't piggyback off a previously successful Sonic formula. It's hard for me to really determine if my love of the game came from the game being good or if it was from the game just not being horrible like we've come to expect from Sonic games over the years. When this game was first announced, I told myself to not get excited and to not even for 1 second believe this would turn out good. But over time, and after rumblings from people who actually got to play the game, I slowly allowed that hope to set in, and luckily it turned out good. I really enjoyed how they went over the top with supersonic fights against the Titans. The flashy animations and cutscenes, plus the music, just really pumped up the whole fight and made you feel like you were a total badass when you finally got to become supersonic. Fighting in the game was done well, considering it's Sonic. I mean, I don't know how much better you could have done it. The fighting was kept simple, yet they allowed you to string together attacks to keep the flow going without interruption. Also, it gave you the feeling of you, the player, actually getting better skill wise when fighting with Sonic. As you learn what to use and against who, it makes the fighting go a lot smoother than when you first start out, which is a good thing since you feel like you're getting better as Sonic learns new skills along the way. One thing to note is the game is very big on collecting, so if that isn't your thing, you probably won't enjoy it that much. The only way to progress the story is to find the memory tokens for each of Sonic's captured friends that are scattered throughout each open zone area. That will have you digging up chest areas with Sonic Psyloop and also grinding rails and jumping off ramps to get memory tokens floating in the air. When I first saw it, I didn't understand how the open zone area would work, but after playing it, you do enjoy just running around, boosting all over the place, and collecting these things. Sonic Team gives the player a lot to collect, especially if you are trying to 100% complete the game, but they also give you a way to ease the collecting aspect as well. On every map, one of the portals will take you to Big's fishing pond. Yes, Big from Sonic Adventure 1 has made his way to Frontiers. While running around the map, you will notice these purple coins hidden throughout the map. These coins are used to fish at Big's pond, and Big will give you tokens in return for whatever fish or objects you catch at the pond. You can use these tokens to purchase every kind of collectible they've put in the game. This really helps you from a completionist aspect Nothing is overly pricey, and you get a lot of these purple coins, so I never came close to running out. Now, just to point out, these aren't some type of like microtransaction. This is actual just in-game currency stuff that you can collect. So if you don't feel like going to get the last 10 or so memory tokens you need to progress through the story, you can just head to the pond and then buy them with the tokens you got from fishing. Actually, the fishing minigame is pretty simple, and it's just you tapping X when the white ring gets inside the red ring. So it doesn't take much effort to catch stuff. Also, if you download the Monster Hunter DLC pack for Sonic Frontiers, you can cook meat at the barbecue pit and earn tokens that way as well. The good thing about the barbecue pit is it costs nothing to do. So if by chance you didn't have any purple coins, you can still earn tokens and buy what you need from Big. The story really is kind of hit and miss. It's supposed to be explaining the history of the Chaos Emeralds and the ancients who used them, but I don't feel like it did a great job at it. It isn't a bad story, just isn't something that'll reach out and grab you. If I had to rank it against other Sonic games, it would come in second to Sonic Adventure 2's story. Like I said, it isn't bad at all and actually has some good moments. And if you're wondering why it's ranked so high after I said that, is because most Sonic games really don't have a story. And usually if they do, they just absolutely are horrible. This one actually isn't horrible. It's pretty good, but Sonic Adventure 2's story is the top. It's the GOAT of Sonic games. If you're looking to 100% complete the game, then it probably will take around 25 hours or so. Nothing is asked of you that isn't easy to accomplish. And like I said earlier, they have the fishing pond, which will help you get Sonic maxed out and purchase the additional memory tokens needed to view all the side story content. Plus, they have a nice soothing lo-fi music soundtrack for the pond, so it makes those hours of fishing feel a bit less bothersome. If you focus mainly on the story, then it will be much shorter to beat the game, coming in around 13 to 15 hours. I will say, if you're interested in the game, please buy it on the PS5 or the Xbox Series X. Do not buy it on the Switch. In order to enjoy this game, then you really need to experience it in 60 FPS. The Nintendo Switch version is really not a playable version of the game, and it's only playable in the aspect of that it will play, but it's really bad. As you take major hits in resolution and frame rate, there's times that the game is running at maybe 400p, especially in handheld mode, and it never ever goes above 30 FPS, and there's times that it drops below 30 FPS. Plus, pop-in is even more of an issue than it is on the PS5 and the Xbox Series X. I hope you all enjoyed the review, and like I said, I would recommend giving this game a shot if you are a Sonic fan. I believe the game has been cut to $40, so it's a pretty good deal right now if you felt 60 was a bit too rich. As always, thanks for all the support you've given the channel, and we will catch you in the next one. Peace.